Remember that one kid in your school times who was always quiet, average looking, always at the back bench. 10 years later, he's driving the luxury car, has his own startup, and everyone's like, भाई ये इतना बड़ा कैसे बन गया, कब बन गया यार? That's exactly what we call as bamboo shoot stock in the analogy of stock markets. For years, nothing flashy, no viral news, no hype, stock barely moves. And suddenly, boom, sales explode, profits jump, stock price takes off like it was just waiting to surprise everyone. In today's video on the value investing series from the Wallstreet School, we'll decode this quite to rocket journey. Why these businesses grow slowly for years, what changed overnight, and how you can spot these hidden gems before world wakes up to them. Let's see some practical examples. Okay, because let's face it, in the stock market, sometimes the tortoise doesn't just win the race, he builds a Ferrari factory on the way. Let's dive in, seeing some practical examples and seeing that how some serious wealth has been and can be created through the stock markets. Let's get started. Hello friends, welcome back. I concluded the last video with saying that let's have what sort of expectations that we should have from the stock markets. It's going to be very different, right? Because what I'm going to discuss with you is something called bamboo shoots. Now, what are bamboo shoots? Because the sort of investing philosophy that should be, in case we are aspiring that delta from 14% to 26%, is something which will come from bamboo shoots. What are bamboo shoots? Let's understand this. What I'll take you through is one of the very famous speech of one of the finest players to have played for India, Rahul Dravid. This is one of his speeches, and it's so resonating with investing, because when it comes to investing is like a classic test match. So what better than one of the finest players to have played test cricket for India? Let's hear it out from him.
When I am requested to speak to youngsters, I like talking about this phase of my life and liken it to the fascinating plant, the Chinese bamboo. You can take a Chinese bamboo seed and plant it in the ground, water and nurture the seed for an entire year, and not even see a single sprout. In fact, you will not see a sprout for 5 years. But suddenly, finally, a tiny shoot will spring from the ground. And over the next 6 weeks, the plant can grow as tall as 90 feet. It can grow as fast as 39 inches every 24 hours. You can literally watch the plant grow. What was the plant doing during these 5 years, seemingly dormant period? It was growing its roots. For 5 full years, it was preparing itself for rapid, massive growth. Without this root structure, the plant simply could not support itself for its future growth. Some would say the plant grew 90 feet in 6 weeks. I would say it grew 90 feet in 5 years and 6 weeks. This period tested my faith and willingness to believe in my own talent at the beginning of my journey. I even captained the Indian under-19 team. Question I got wherever I went was, when are you going to play for the country? Now this is not something that I had any control over, but the question began to dominate my life and my being. Even when it wasn't asked, it was the elephant in the room. I ended up playing 5 years of domestic cricket before getting my national break. It was frustrating. I remember putting a sticker on my kinetic Honda which
said, God's delays are not God's denials. One of the finest players to have played for India, because when it comes to investing is like a classic test match. It requires a lot of patience, and that is so good for the stock market investing also. Rahul Dravid talked about some bamboo shoots. So let's see some bamboo shoots from the perspective of stock markets. Okay, the first one. Let's talk about Bajaj Finance. It was available for 16 rupees in 2005. 16 rupees. Almost subdued for 5-6 years. Started shooting up. See the growth trajectory of the company, like a bamboo shoot. This has been Bajaj Finance for you, right? A lack of investment in 2008 is almost worth 13 crores till May 2025. Bamboo shoots. Let's talk of Vinti Organics. It was subdued for almost 5-6 years. It was winning the people to have a look into the company that I'm good. 6 rupees it was available. Started shooting up. See the growth trajectory of Vinti Organics. Right? A lack of investment is worth 3.5 crores in May 2025. Let's talk of the next one. Tata Elxsi. Right? Just subdued for 6-7 years. Subdued for 6-7 years. Started shooting up. See the growth trajectory of the company. Bamboo shoot. Almost elixated bamboo shoot in terms, if that is the nomenclature. A lack of investment in Tata Elxsi of 1 lakh rupees in 2008 is almost worth 1.6 crores in 2025. And most of the names I'm telling you right now are maybe the known names for those who are in the stock markets. Right? Let's talk of Ramkrishna Forgings. Right? It was subdued for so long. Right? And then it started shooting up. Almost 7-8 years it was subdued and started shooting up. See the growth trajectory of the company. A lack of investment is almost worth 1.5 crores in 2025. Bamboo shoot. Let's talk of BSE. Just BSE, the stock. BSE listed company, limited company. Right? 2018 it was 275 odd. 2025 has to be the year of BSE. See the growth trajectory of the company over here. A lack of investment in 2017 is worth 20 lakhs in 2025. Bamboo shoot. It's the way it is. Let's talk of the next one. See HDFC Bank. Just the normal HDFC Bank, the stock, the banking stock. It was just about subdued, just about a modest growth in 2008. And see how the company has grown. See, a lack of investment in 2008 for HDFC Bank is almost worth 19 lakhs in 2025. See the growth trajectory of the company. And finally, friends, what most Indians do? They put money in fixed deposits. Okay, so the same fixed deposit in an HDFC Bank. So one is HDFC Bank stock. A lack of investment in 2008 is worth almost 19 lakhs in 2025. Same HDFC Bank fixed deposits. So a lack of investment in 2008 is worth 3.42 lakhs in 2025, assuming a rate of interest of 8%. As of now, the fixed deposit rate of HDFC Bank are even lower than that. Okay, that's the power of equity. That is the magic of compounding. That is where serious wealth creation can happen from the equity markets. That is where I have my gratitude for. Okay, so remember, friends, when it comes to investing, think of a sapling. एक छोटा सा पौधा. You give it the right amount of water, you give it the right amount of cure, right? It grows into a healthy tree. On similar lines, just make a note. Write it down. On similar lines, you identify companies whose sales are growing. You identify companies whose margins are improving. You identify companies whose debt is reducing. You identify companies whose profitability is increasing. You identify companies whose management is ethical. Companies with these traits, they are bound to grow and create significant wealth for itself and for its shareholders. Bamboo shoots. Let's endeavor, let's manifest. Let's discuss the income statement